You're about to learn 32 tricks that pro YouTubers use to pull in millions of views a month and keep their viewers hooked. But these just aren't any tricks. To find them, we at 1 of 10 studied thousands of viral videos and worked with some of YouTubers' biggest creators to prove that they work. And they certainly did. So if you're looking to blow up your YouTube channel, let's start with number 1. The barrier of exit. So many YouTubers fail to hook their audiences because they're not thinking about one of the biggest factors when it comes to the viewing experience, and that's your viewer's device. The barrier to exit defines how easy it is for your viewers to click off your video and leave your channel forever. On a phone, the barrier to exit is really low, as a viewer has to fight the urge to open apps like TikTok or Instagram with just a swipe of a finger, or maybe exit due to a notification popping up or a call coming through. To grasp the attention of a phone user, your content needs to be more seducing than all of that, moving at a fast pace and making it extremely difficult for them to peel away. As for a laptop user, you can kind of imagine someone maybe having a lunch break at work and browsing some YouTube, or having some downtime when they come home. The temptation is there for them to maybe open up a game, check the news, or browse online shops, but the session is more dedicated and moves a bit slower in comparison to the phone user. And finally, we have the TV watchers. And TV is actually the winner when it comes to the highest barrier for exit, because playing around with like a clunky TV controller to try and find good YouTube videos requires way more effort. So once you get someone watching on a TV, they are less likely to leave. You need to think about the devices that your audience use, because it will affect the way that you actually design your content. The fast-paced, attention-grabbing style of mobile optimized content will differ from the slow, more traditional approach you can get away with on TV. Number 2. The audience memory curve. There was some really interesting research done on audiences and their ability to remember public speeches. One study revealed the concept of the audience memory curve, which suggests that listeners are more likely to remember information presented at the beginning of a speech and at the end. What this means for YouTube is if you put your best content at the start of the video, your audience is more likely to remember that and have it carry through for the rest of the video. Number 3, same old, same old. One of the most difficult things to do on YouTube is to have a viewer watch your video from the start all the way to the end. So when that does happen, the last thing you want is to lose a viewer like that. But there's a sneaky trick that pro YouTubers use to keep you binge watching their channel, and I want you to see if you can spot it here in Will Tennyson's video.
The best cocktail we can have is equal parts a nutritious diet, lots of water, and some good quality sleep.
The end screen that Will pulled up is not just any end screen video. What Will is doing here is setting up a viewer to watch another I Tried video, which matches the format of the video the viewer just watched. Doing this massively increases the chances of a viewer watching another video, which only gets them spending more time with you and growing a deeper relationship to you as a creator. Number 4, start a fight. One weird way to hook your viewers is actually to annoy them in a smart way. Exposure to opposing viewpoints can actually flick a switch in the brain and bring on a state of heightened attention. The reason why is when your own beliefs are being challenged by something, you go into a state of questioning and you're prompted to reflect on what you're actually watching. So next time you're crafting an intro, maybe have a think about coming up with a statement that opposes common belief. Number 5, the false package. Have you ever ordered something from online and it doesn't quite look like the picture on the website? What if I told you that even a good thumbnail can make viewers feel like they're being cheated? This can actually happen if your video doesn't meet the expectations that your thumbnail set. To fix this, you can completely match the thumbnail early on, like this channel Couch Co-op has done here, or simply match your video's aesthetic as closely as possible to the visual language you've used in your thumbnail. Number 6, your viewers make the rules. The next hack is a little bit more data-driven, and it has everything to do with the average view duration of your audience. If you're lost on how long you need to spend using different tactics to hook your audience, go into YouTube Analytics and check the average time your viewers are sticking around in your videos. If your average view duration for your whole audience is about 3 minutes long, you know that you need to at least pack as much value, information, visuals, graphics, whatever it is, in that first 3 minutes of the video to hold your viewers at least for that minimum view duration. Number 7, the 15-second rule. If we count the number of changes in the first 15 seconds of a video from a big entertainment channel like Mike Shake compared with an education channel like Ali Abdaal, we can see that there is not only a difference in the pacing, but also the type of visuals presented in the videos. So to optimize for your own niche, compare yourself to competition and count how many times their videos are kind of making changes in those first 15 seconds, and take note of the kinds of visuals they're using to influence your editing and the pacing of your content. Number 8, upwards trend. But speaking of the start of your video, there's actually a sneaky trick you can use to create the illusion of increasing value, and that's using your second best bit of information first, and then following up with your best point. So doing this creates this kind of upward trend where your audience feel like your content is is only getting better and better. And then you get a really positive emotional response from your audience and they stick around. Number 9, the bribe. Of course, if spending hours crafting, intricate hooks for YouTube is something that you find very difficult, you could always bribe your audience. And by bribe, I mean create some form of valuable resource to give your audience for free with the condition of sticking around for the whole video. This could be a PDF, a Notion template, a short guide, or something like editing assets. So what you want to do is mention that resource at the start, but don't mention how they're going to get it until the end. Number 10, go beyond. I want you to take a look at this Mr. Beast thumbnail here and have a think about the expectations that you get from seeing the title and thumbnail. Now we're going to have a quick look at the intro to that video and see what he does with that expectation.
I just bought this train and it is currently barreling full speed towards that giant pit over there.
We're also crashing countless cars, blowing up thousands of sticks of real dynamite, and even putting 10 jet engines on a car.
You can see that straight away he confirms your expectation of the train versus pit, but then he goes way beyond that expectation and provides so much further value by showing other crazy stunts he's also going to pull off. The best YouTube videos are the ones that not only match the expectations that are set by the title and thumbnail, but go way beyond them as soon as possible, say for example in the intro. Number 11, the trust builder. One of the quickest ways to hook your viewers is to simply show them that you've achieved what they want, whether it be financial success, an achievement in a video game, building something cool, or a challenging skill. If you simply show your audience, hey, I've done this thing with proof, they're much more likely to stick around and listen to you. Number 12, you're not alone. Remember that even though you might feel like you're alone in front of your camera, you're actually interacting directly with someone or even possibly a group of people. Using some form of active audience participation, such as questions, discussions, or interactive activities can really increase audience engagement and video retention. Number 13, turn boring into virality. To understand this trick, we're first going to take a look at this really boring video idea, metal detecting a Pennsylvania park. But what if I told you that this idea isn't actually boring, it's just the way it's being presented? If we take a look at Ryan Trahan's same idea, which is basically just a video about metal detecting, he's created way more story and intrigue with his title and thumbnail. With just a glance, we're wondering about what he might have managed to find in the ridiculous distance of 100 miles. He's also suggested finding valuable items, and the location of a beach sounds more interesting than a Pennsylvania park. No offense to the Pennsylvanians out there. Imagine taking the first metal detecting video and transforming it into I metal detected 100 American parks, and putting something intriguing in the thumbnail that gets people thinking, what the hell did he find? Imagination is your ultimate weapon for hooking an audience, so think big. Number 14, tools of the business. And speaking of ideas and imagination, pro YouTubers are always on the lookout for more tools or services that they can use to help free up time so they can create more content. The most effective tool for YouTube ideas is 1 of 10, which is basically a massive search engine for viral ideas across YouTube. To come up with viral ideas for your own channel, you can search the homepage, browse keywords, search through similar topics, and more to inspire ideas that are data-backed to give you more views and subscribers. So if you're interested, check the link in the description and use code T50 right now for 50% off for life. Number 15, end on a low. There was a study done that examined how audiences on social media reacted to different advertising approaches. The study found that negative appeals, those that highlight a problem or a negative outcome, are more effective in driving user engagement and prompting action compared to positive or mixed appeals. What this means for YouTube is when crafting your hooks, whether it be at the start or the end of your video, you kind of want to think negative. Targeting the problems and pain of your audience and hopefully giving them a solution will always hit harder than just giving them something happy-go-lucky to think about. Number 16, silent intros. What if I told you that a massive chunk of your audience is actually watching your videos on mute? Well, this actually does happen, and it's due to YouTube's autoplay feature when users hover their mouse over your videos. So to hook all viewers, you actually need to craft your introduction in a way that makes sense even if the sound is muted. I cannot stress how important the visual clarity of your video needs to be, especially in the early parts of the video. Number 17, the heart twist. I want you to pay attention now because we're going to watch a clip of Mike Shake, and he's going to give us a masterclass in how to increase your viewers' emotional investment into your video.
But money has the ability to make a huge difference for people that really need it. This is Marika, and she just died at my same age after complications during childbirth. The kid is safe, but still in a reserved prognosis in a pediatric institute. I'm gonna find a way to get the money to this kid. So how am I gonna do that? I wanna try day trading.
The moment we understand the reason behind why Mike is trying to invest and make money is the moment that we become emotionally invested in the video and we start rooting for him to succeed. This is a perfect example of like raising the stakes in a story, which increases the tension of a video and keeps us wondering about whether he's going to succeed or not, and successfully help raise money for the child's care. And once we're emotionally invested, our brains are forced to pay more attention, switching into a type of stress response. It's only when we're rewarded with a resolution to that tension, in other words, a payoff, that we can slip back into a state of relaxation and satisfaction. Number 18, move with the beat. Did you know that the chemicals dopamine and serotonin that help regulate our mood can be manipulated with music? Studies indicate that music can evoke specific feelings, and these emotional responses are consistent across different listeners. One of the best ways to use soundtracks is to use it to define different sections of your video, leading viewers' feelings from one section to the next. As we spoke about before, building tension in a video before rewarding your audience with moments of relief is a great way to increase audience satisfaction. So enhancing that tension and relief with soundtracks that are tense, or allowing your audience to breathe with something a bit more relaxing, is another trick the pros use. Number 19, feed your fish. Now, just as a warning, this following statement might offend a few of our viewers. Younger generations, particularly Gen Z, are reported to have shorter attention spans when engaging with social media content. For instance, Gen Z individuals may lose focus after about 8 seconds, which is comparable to the attention span of a goldfish. In contrast, older generations tend to exhibit longer attention spans, with baby boomers averaging around 20 seconds. So apologies to the younger viewers, but this really matters because the way you format your content completely depends on who your audience is. Generally speaking, if you have a younger audience, you're going to need faster paced hooks, faster paced visuals, and so on. If you're targeting a Gen Z audience, you got to make videos that even your goldfish can watch. Number 20, your viewers run with you. And speaking of speed, I watched this really interesting TED Talk the other day, and I learned something really interesting.
Pace. I can get very, very excited by saying something really, really quickly, or I can slow right down to emphasize.
So next time you record a YouTube video, pick up the pace to get people more excited about what you're saying, and then draw people in with a little bit of a slower delivery. Number 21, the triple combo. You actually want to think of a hook more like a sandwich, and one layer simply isn't good enough. Yes, the filling is crafting a great hook in your script, but it doesn't taste as good without being sandwiched between a visual hook and an audio hook alongside it. Sandwich your hooks to increase retention. Number 22, be different and the same. If you're going to make the same video as another creator, whether that be literally copying the same title or covering the same topic, you'd better be providing a different experience in comparison. Your video either needs to provide more value, or give a unique angle, story, or simply be more entertaining, because if it isn't, why would someone even watch your video? Your number one goal on YouTube isn't to present new information all the time. It's to take information that's already out there and present it in a new way that feels fresh to your audience. Number 23, effort goes a long way. Now I want you to answer a question. If you wanted to learn something from someone, would you choose the guy who has done that thing 1,000 times and spent 10,000 pounds on resources to enhance his skills? Or would you choose the dude saying, "Hey, I like this subject, let me tell you about it"? Funnily enough, most YouTube videos are actually that second guy, and people make the mistake of not taking advantage of something called leverage input bias. This is when you state how much effort or resources you've invested into the video to hook people into wanting to watch simply because of the amount of effort you've put in. An example of this in a hook would be, over the past 6 weeks, I spent 200 hours studying the top 100 YouTubers in the world. I spent £13,000 on their courses, and I finally discovered 3 things that guarantee a channel's growth. So the next time you're making a video, flex how much effort you've put into making that video. Number 24, every hero needs a villain. I want you to imagine the Lion King without Scar, or Snow White without the evil queen. It's kind of hard to picture the story moving anywhere, right? You see, villains in a story help amplify interest because they create contrast. But a villain doesn't have to be like a scheming lion or a nasty queen. A villain in a YouTube video can be more conceptual, like a competing idea or an organization that stands against what you do. A character also works, but the number one thing you must remember is that villain is creating friction between you and your desired outcome. Number 25, the big for big rule. Now we can't talk big without talking about Mr. Beast, so I want you to see if you can spot what the big for big rule is in this clip of his.
Just grab whatever car you want. Let's go race. All right, let's go. And I called up some of the biggest local creators to have a field day with these supercars. Let's have some fun.
They are going so fast!
And this is just the first of many experiences we're gonna be doing here.
What Mr. Beast is doing here is saving the biggest transitions, the most exciting parts, and the biggest load of movement and special effects and so on for the biggest moments in his video. Big moments only feel big if smaller moments happen before them. Number 26, the troll under the bridge. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard about bridging sections between your video. What this essentially means is connecting one section of your video to the next in an effortless flow that creates an engaging viewer experience. Unfortunately, a lot of creators tend to lose a lot of viewers in between sections of their videos. The reason why? Well, their bridges are missing trolls. You see, once you set up a problem or a troll in your intro that has been solved at some point in your video, you've essentially got rid of the troll that was bugging your viewer. So once you get rid of one, you've got to invite another one in and present a new problem to your audience to rehook them into the next section of your video. Number 27, the status hack. Now for this next trick, I want you to pay attention and tell me what is more convincing. I wrote this book in just 3 months and we've just hit 2,000 sales in our first week. So to celebrate today, I'm going to be giving you 3 writing tips that will not only help you write faster, but also help you get that first draft sorted in less than 2 months. And version number 2, hi everyone, I'm going to give you some writing tips to help you write your first book. I think we all know whose video we're sticking around to watch, right? If you've got a lot of credibility behind what you are saying or what you are teaching, hook your audience with it immediately and even reinforce it throughout your video. And you can go a step further with visual receipts if you have those as well. Number 28, the clarity effect. When making YouTube videos, if the videos that you're making makes you feel clever, but your audience feel dumb, those are really, really bad videos. Videos must be built around clarity, but clarity isn't only about the information that you're presenting. So make sure the following is clear. Clear speaking, clear sound effects, clear music, clear visuals, clear structure. Clearly we need to move on to the next trick. Number 29, wake your audience up. I want you to pay attention right now and see what this does to you as a viewer. Here's an interesting question. If someone was following you, would you notice? Now, what did that question do to you? Well, I'm hoping that it created some form of internal dialogue, because doing so gives you the ability to switch your audience from a passive viewing into active viewing. Number 30, the struggle is real. It's no doubt that being relatable is clearly a superpower on YouTube, with authentic channels like Emma Chamberlain, Casey Neistat, and Sam Sulek pulling in millions of views every month. But what does being relatable actually mean? Well, people relate to others who tell stories of overcoming adversity rather than displaying effortless success. Stories with relatable struggles hook viewers emotionally, and showing your flaws or being honest about when things go wrong really makes viewers root for you. So don't be worried about talking about the downs that always come along with the ups. Number 31, max power. Have you ever recorded a YouTube video and you felt like really upbeat and good during the presentation, but then you watch it back and it looks like this? Hey guys, today I'm recording a YouTube video and I'm gonna speak about Well, it's because your bones are lying to you. I'm actually being serious. Vibrations in your bones actually make your voice sound better when you're speaking, but those vibrations aren't picked up through a microphone that only picks up vibrations in the air. So to kind of compensate for that vibrational loss, you've got to put in a bit more energy into your presentation, 50% or more, to kind of, make up for that. Number 32, the volume magnet. And speaking of energy, another sound trick is to use volume to capture the attention of your audience. You can use a quieter tone to pull people in and get them to really focus on what you're saying, or explode in a thunderous roar to help your viewers snap out of their passive trance. Number 33, catch your breath. And then when you get tired of raising the volume, it's okay to just have a little bit of a pause for your viewers to process what the hell they just watched. Now, learning all 33 of these tricks can certainly level up your videos. But if you're leveling up your videos that are built on a really bad foundation for a channel, it doesn't matter how many tricks you use, your videos just won't get views. So if you're looking to follow a similar path to all of the big creators that we've worked with, you might want to click this video here.